Yeah, it does. You got to be very careful. In fact, being an accountant is much closer than even being a doctor or a lawyer. We have a saying, by the way. No man is a hero to his proctologist. We should all keep that in mind.
And no man is a hero to his wife's psychiatrist either, Joe. In any event, you say that the insurance settlements are a game.
Yeah.
Because it's a game of give and take and doing this and that and so on. And I thought I never thought of it that way, that insurance settlements are part of a game.
Yeah, it's a negotiation. And as you mentioned before, loyalty plays a big part. It's very hard for certain people to come in from the outside because they don't know anybody. And they can be as right as they could possibly be and yet not get what they want because they haven't established a connection. This is life.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that I took away from the novel, and there's a lot that I took away from it, and a lot to think about in a very positive, constructive way, that the hero is really an anti-hero. Larry, in my judgment, is not a man who has without serious flaws, and many, many serious flaws. And one of the things that I've always felt, that a moral perfectionist, someone who poses as a moral perfectionist above it all, I've never had much use for a moral perfectionist because they wind up breaking everybody else's back. They don't recognize human frailty and human problems and so on. So I like the idea that Larry is as much an anti-hero as the protagonist of the book, because he's laden with flaws, but in the end, he's a decent guy. He is a decent guy. So I thought that was very good. You have a lot of nice songs in the book.
Yeah.
And I know that my father loved Rodgers and Hart. So your songs that appear in the book, like Isn't It Romantic? I mean, I could start singing that right now, and I didn't know what time it was, and My Funny Valentine, great, and There's a Small Hotel, all of these wonderful songs of the 1930s and so on. And then there's one lyric, though, that you do put in there when a favorite of Big Mo.
Yeah.
What was that lyric?
That was Loch Lomond. You take the high road and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland for you. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. That was because Larry's father, who was a nightclub singer in his youth, also was a bit of a philosopher himself, and this was something that he sung to his son at an early age, and the son then never forgot the song and the lyrics and the feeling of closeness, the feeling of being somebody's son.
Yeah,
you know,
good. Yes, very good.
Was evoked. Oh, I know whether the song evoked the feeling or the feeling evoked the song. You know, either way. But at that point, it was a remembrance.
Yeah.
And when the father sings it one more time, and his voice is shot because he has the cancer of the throat, you know, and it creates a kind of a crisis within a crisis for Larry.
Yeah. Some of the names of the characters, like the attorney, the district attorney, the prosecuting attorney, Dexter Hall, with boughs of holly, I guess, right?
Yeah, I was just being cute.
That's good. I like it. I like that idea. No question about it. I know that my own kids, when I would spell Noel, which is the symbol, you know, Christmas, I would always spell it N-O-E.
Yeah.
And my kids would say, hey, what happened? I said, well, there's Noel there, you know? And that was something, a little game that I played. Corny, but it was effective if you're 5 and 7 years old, Joel.
Yes, yes to both counts.
But you also have reference to Sidney Carton and Madame Lafarge in you know, A Tale of Two Cities. I thought was good, and I like the way you use certain language, the play on words. For example, during the trial, and that's a very important part of it, and we can't go into it because that's really the heart and soul of the climax of the novel. You have the defense attorney, Bernie the attorney,
Bernie the
defense attorney, and he says to one of the witnesses, "You're gross." And the judge said, "Wait a minute, let's not be insulting. This is my courtroom, and I will not allow any insult." He said, "No, Your Honor, I'm talking about the measurement of 12 by 12 of a product, a gross of a product." He said, "No." And then you use the word where he says something. He says, "Why did he say that?" You said, "Well, the use of a particular word, he's anti-semantic."
Yeah.
Anti-semantic, and I thought that was cool. Joel, can a judge issue a directed verdict of guilty? Because that was one of the parts that I took away from the novel.
Okay, I'm not a lawyer, and frankly, I feel bad because I never actually researched that particular question, which I will do so now, ex post facto, because it's an interesting question. But I have heard of directed verdicts.
Okay.
So I figured this particular point, it would come in handy. So I used it.
Okay. Other interesting things, and I would urge the reader to read this book because, for example, you deal with the question of at what age do you think surgery should be successful when Big Mo is nearing the end of his life, and when should we employ a DNR, and other very, very interesting things. And one of the things that I took away from this novel, and I will end it with this, Joel, is that, believe it or not, a quote from King George III, "There is no life without its consolations, and no life without its regrets." And there you see that epitomized in Larry. Joel, quickly, where can we get this novel?
Okay, everybody's invited to visit my website. You write this down, I'll speak slowly, www.publicpartsthelegend.com. There's a lot of background information, there's a book trailer, and there are places available where the book can be purchased at Amazon and Barnes & Noble and Ex Libris, and so you're welcome to go read the book. I appreciate it.
Very good. Thank you, Joel. I appreciate you being here, and I enjoyed it as much as you, I hope.
I enjoyed it more. I enjoyed it, and I'm glad, as I said before, you know the difference between an interview and an interrogation.
Okay.
And I thank you very much for the opportunity to speak about my book. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.